If you are watching this video first, go back to video 1. This series builds on itself. Each video is a layer, and the one beneath it makes this one hit harder. Start from the beginning. The Calm Code, full series of...
There's something happening in your life right now that you keep dismissing as coincidence. A thought appears, and then the exact thing you were thinking about shows up. A stranger says something that answers a question you've been carrying for weeks. A door closes, and somehow 3 days later, a better one opens. You meet someone at the exact moment you needed them. You call it luck, you call it timing, you move on. But what if you've been misreading the map this entire time? What if this invisible force, the one we've been talking about, isn't something you have to go out and find? What if it's been communicating with you all along, and the only problem is you haven't learned to read its language? Today we're going to change that. The force doesn't shout, it whispers. Here's the first thing you need to understand. This intelligence, this energy that flows through everything, does not operate the way your mind does. Your mind is loud. Your mind argues, plans, overthinks, and second guesses. This force is quiet, it works in the background, it moves through subtle channels. It speaks through what some call synchronicity, meaningful coincidences that logic can't explain. You think of someone you haven't spoken to in years, and they call you that afternoon. You're standing at a crossroads in your life, not knowing which direction to choose, and you overhear a conversation in a cafe, strangers talking, and one of them says the exact words you needed to hear. These are not accidents. These are the language of a universe that is trying to cooperate with you. The problem is most people are so consumed by the noise of their thoughts, the worry, the planning, the replaying of old regrets that they never notice. The signal is there. The reception is poor. Sign number 1, unexpected help arrives. One of the clearest signs that this force is working in your life is when help comes from directions you never expected, and often at the exact moment you needed it most. Think about your own life. Has there ever been a moment where you were at your lowest, you had exhausted every option, and then something or someone appeared out of nowhere and changed everything? That is not random, that is alignment. When you are living from a genuine place, when your intentions are honest, when you are working towards something that actually matters, the universe responds. Not always immediately, not always in the form you expected, but it responds. The question isn't whether it's working. The question is whether you're paying attention. Sign number 2, the pattern repeating in your relationships. Now here is where we go deeper, and this is where most people get uncomfortable. Your relationships are one of the most powerful signs this force is communicating with you, not because relationships are easy, but because they are the mirror. Every person who shows up in your life, the ones who irritate you, the ones who betray you, the ones who challenge you in ways that feel personal, they are all reflecting something back to you. Think about the person who frustrates you the most right now. The colleague, the family member, the partner. What specifically bothers you about them? Here is an uncomfortable truth. The qualities we judge most harshly in others are often the qualities we haven't made peace within ourselves. The person who makes you angry because they never listen, are there areas in your life where you refuse to hear something? The person whose dishonesty troubles you, are there ways you have been dishonest with yourself? This is not about blame, this is about information. Your relationships are not happening to you. They are being attracted by you, by the energy you're carrying, the beliefs you're holding, the unresolved patterns you haven't yet examined. Sign number 3, the door that closed harder than necessary. You know that situation, the one that felt like a brutal rejection at the time, the relationship that ended, the job you lost, the plan that completely fell apart. And then months or years later, looking back, you thought, if that hadn't ended, I would never have arrived here. When something collapses in your life with an unusual force, not just closing, but slamming shut, that is often the intelligence of the universe redirecting you. Not punishing you, not abandoning you, redirecting you. The problem is we don't see it that way in the moment. In the moment, it feels like failure, it feels like loss, and because we resist it, we delay the redirection. The sign isn't the door closing. The sign is what you do next. Do you stand in front of the closed door and rage against it? Or do you turn around and look for the open one? Sign number 4, the restlessness that won't go away. There is a kind of restlessness that has nothing to do with anxiety. It is quieter than anxiety, more persistent. It doesn't scream, it hums. It's the feeling that something more is possible, that the life you're living is somehow smaller than the life you are meant to live, that there is a purpose you haven't fully stepped into yet. That restlessness is not a problem to be solved with distraction. It is a signal. It is the voice of your deeper self, the part of you that is connected to something larger, telling you that it is time to move. Don't silence it, follow it. What your relationships are really trying to tell you. Let's come back to relationships, because this is where the signs get most personal. Consider this: we are not separate beings moving through the world independently. We are deeply, invisibly connected to one another, sharing the same source of energy, the same fundamental nature beneath all our differences. When you walk into a room and someone's presence lifts your energy without them saying a single word, that is energy speaking. When you meet a stranger and feel an inexplicable sense of familiarity, that is resonance. When a relationship, no matter how well-intentioned, consistently drains you, leaves you feeling smaller, more afraid, more closed, that too is information. The people in your life are not random. They are drawn by vibration. They arrive to teach, to challenge, to mirror, and sometimes to show you exactly what you are ready to release. Every relationship in your life, even the painful ones, is a message. The question is not, why is this happening to me? The question is, what is this showing me? How to start reading the signs. Here is what you can do starting today. At the end of each day, pause for just 5 minutes. Not to review your to-do list, not to scroll, just to sit quietly and ask yourself 3 questions. What showed up unexpectedly today? What did my reaction to someone else tell me about myself? What am I being redirected toward that I've been resisting? Write down whatever comes. Don't analyze it immediately, just notice. Over time, days, weeks, you will begin to see a pattern, and in that pattern you will find a direction. The force has been working this whole time. You just needed to learn how to listen. Here's what I want you to sit with before the next video. If your relationships are a mirror, and the patterns in your life are signs, then there must be something inside you that is generating those patterns. Something deeper than your intentions. Something you may not even be fully conscious of. In the next video, we're going to look directly at it. And when you see what it is, it will change how you see everything.